Good morning. This week, hopefully you are looking at the gradebook and figuring out if you're missing any of your projects. I know there are quite a few of you that haven't yet turned in a finished monochromatic portrait, so please make sure you're finishing those and getting those turned in. But if you have everything turned in and just want to keep painting and have a little fun, I'm going to show you how to paint a koi fish. And then you can add koi fish together and make kind of a pond sort of situation. So here's my drawing. I'm using like one of the long sketchbook papers. And you can see I've put some like lily pads on here, and then I've drawn a few koi fish, and I will go ahead and paint this. But before I get to that one, I'm going to just show you on one of these little papers how to draw a koi fish. They're actually quite easy to draw. So I'm just gonna think about that koi fish like have kind of an oval body shape, right? So I'm gonna just really lightly draw an oval to start with. And then I'm going to kind of square off the top of the oval and give it like a center line. And then I'm going to just connect the oval with that center line. I'm going to give it a fin that's going to go off my paper because I managed to get it too big. We get two fins, bigger fins here on the sides of the body, two smaller fins toward the back, and then a top, like a top fin. So if I like darken the outside line in, we end up with something that looks like this. I wouldn't want to, like if I'm going to make it be a painting, I don't want this dark outline on it because you'll see that that all just shows, but I want you guys to be able to see in the video. So there we go, koi fish. I can take an eraser then and get rid of any of the extra lines if I want. And like I said, I really wouldn't want the lines this dark for painting, so I'm just gonna try to lighten all of those up a little bit. Now the cool thing about painting a koi fish is that there's no like koi fish come in all different colors. I don't need a lot of details, and mostly it's going to be just some wet into wet color mixing. So here is how I'm going to do this. I'm going to take clean water to start with, and I'm just going to put clean water on my piece of paper in spots, kind of all the way down the length of the koi fish. I have water already in my orange paint because I knew I was going to want to make a koi fish that was at least partially orange. And now what I'm going to do is just come back here to the edge where I don't have water, and I'm going to bump some of this orange in. So like this is my dry paper section, and you can see that I can make my orange flow kind of down the side of my fish a little bit. So I'm gonna just kind of give him a couple of other spots. Because his fins are dry, I can go ahead and pull a few like little finny kind of details if I like. I'm going to leave him speckled. Let's see, I have more water down here. And I can, like I said, tip and turn my paper a little bit, get some of those spots to move around. Maybe I decide that I want koi fish that has also a little bit of gray, because that fairly common that they're orange with a little bit of black or gray. I'm gonna bump a little bit of that in there too. See if I can give him a couple of speckles up here by his face. Like there's no right or wrong way to put these guys together. So I'm gonna just pull a little bit of this gray down in its tail. I said, kind of thinking like fin sort of details. And then really what I'm gonna have to do now is just let him dry. Oops. I'm going to clean up this edge here. So I cleaned my paintbrush off, I squeezed it dry. Cleaned out all the paint, squeezed it dry, and I'm just gonna kind of bump some of that black paint. So there we go, speckled koi fish. Once he's dry, I can go ahead and add a few more details. I can paint a pond around it. I can, you know, do all sorts of fun stuff like that. But for right now, because the paint is wet on the fish itself, I'm just gonna have to leave the fish alone. Have fun, give koi fish a try.